This is a little mock of the rear bumper. I'm just holding it on the zip ties on the jack stand. It doesn't look too bad actually. Almost there. Alright, in efforts to put on the new bumper, I'm going to be plugging these 6 holes here to stop water from coming in the trunk. How I'm going to do that is with these faucet washers, some M5 cap screws, some regular washers, and some wing nuts because Home Depot, you can't really get everything you're looking for so sometimes you have to make a compromise. But all that's gonna go and plug these holes. The rubber's gonna go on the outside. Inside's gonna be the wing nut and the washer. And that's about it. We'll see how it looks afterwards. So essentially this is the assembly. It'll be from outside in. Got the socket screw, washer, I forgot what this is called just that fast. Whatever it is, that's there. Then the body goes in between this washer and the back of this and the wing nut. We have one there as an example. It's plugged. And it's also plugged on this side. And it fits perfectly in this little groove here, so it shouldn't obstruct anything. But yeah, so we got 5 more to go after this. To fit an E30 bumper post facelift, you have to slot out your original bumper bracket holes. So initially it was about like that much space, and then I slotted maybe I think that's an inch. I literally just kept slotting up and up and up and up until it reached the point where I wanted it to be. Oh yeah, here's the finished product of the plugs for the holes. 6 right there. These holes here don't get plugged because that's where the side marker lights for the rear bumper go on. But yeah, these are slotted. I did not record any of that because that took entirely too long. Probably should get a professional to do it, but it will serve its purpose. And then you mount up your bumper brackets, which I have here. You can see the original one would cover this hole down here would be covered by a normal bracket. When you slot it up, it slides it up. This is definitely not 100% straight. We're gonna see how it fits. The other side is about to go on now, and then we put on the brace and just to see how much of a gap we have here. I can't go any higher actually, so it's just gonna have to work. Once I'll go to a body shop or something, they'll probably fix it or something like that. But for now, this is where we are. All right, put them on the bumper brackets. It's not that bad of a gap. Actually, it's a little closer there, so I think I'm gonna lower it on the right-hand side, just a tad. I'm still gonna throw the bumper itself on, just to see how the gap looks. This side definitely can't go up anymore, so I might as well match that side to this side. Alright, so the next issue, the gap is looking like a cross. Actually, you really can't tell. Can't tell. That gap was a lot bigger before. I mean, if you get up close, obviously you can see it, but for now, this is good. The next issue I gotta tackle is, since this is the newer bumper, it doesn't line up with the fender wells or fender lines like this does. So I have to take an X-Acto to this, not X-Acto, Dremel to this, cut this section off maybe. And then there's 2 brackets that I do have that will help mount this to the car, which I'll show you in a second. But the lines are it's pretty spot on all the way around. Alright, so how these work, essentially on either left or right side we have one of these that goes on the inside of the body, right? So it'll be mounted to the side of the body like so, sticking out to the body. And this slides over top, like so. So you put one of these nuts on it, and it secures this bracket to the body. on the side of the bumper itself, it actually clips into this. So it's secured on the back and on the side. The back is secured with that the beige bumper shop that I showed you, but on the sides is held together with this. This is also going to have to be cut because it's going to stick out more than it needs to. They do sell them without this little tab on it, but I got this for a pretty good deal, so I got it and I can just chop it up when I need to. But that's what I'll get to do right now. I have to hopefully mark the holes properly where it doesn't sag too much. Being the MacGyver that I am, I tried to mock this up by painting on the other side. I tried to paint the back with whiteout and stamp it against it, but obviously whiteout dries dummy fast. But I ended up, fitting it to it, trying to trace it out where the holes will have to go into the body, and then I'll mount it with the brackets on, slide the bumpers on, and we'll see how that goes. The brackets they sold me, the screws that secure the beige part to the body is not long enough, so I have to get the OEM ones from FCP. But for now, we're gonna drill out those holes, mount it up again. Alright, so the other side worked perfectly fine. This side, holes cut, then I realized that whatever panel this is, probably for the gas tank or whatever, is blocking one of the holes. There's one there and then the other one's diagonal up. There's no way to get to it. So I'm probably gonna forget this, just get a screw and washer, and just run it through one side and clamp it to the one on there. It should be fine. One should be enough. This side worked out perfectly actually against the body. Obviously I said these have to be cut. I just want to test for it. It's looking like that's not gonna happen. I'll be back for more updates on what I do next. Alright, this is just a quick PSA about how much your boy loves rivets. I literally love rivets because it's a washer and a nut. Oh shit, yo, I found my whatchamacallit. My socket. I was looking for my 10mm socket. I just found it. I'm by my car. But anyway, rivets. So easy, right? So instead of having, a nut on the other side of something that you need to have it on or whatever the case may be, you just attach it to what you need to attach it to. So yesterday, I was talking about how the bracket isn't going to work on the car right here because the gas tank's in the way. So I drilled the two holes here. Two holes is on the other side of this bumper, which I'll show you. But on the other side is the fender and the gas tank, or the entrance to the gas tank, so I can't do it. But I was going to give up. No, that's not true. I wasn't going to give up. But I was trying to figure out what kind of solution I was going to use to solve that. And then there's rivets. So I already drilled the hole, but all I got, it's essentially going to look like this. So you see I got M6x16 socket head screws, some 1/4" washers, and some rivets, bro. So I'm going to try and put the rivets in the hole. I may have to make the hole a little bigger. Once I put the rivets in, I screw in the M6x16s, and it's on, just like that. Rivets, bro, clutch. So boom, these are the previous holes that I drilled, right? This one you can see through the trunk. This one is the one that the bracket could not fit on the other side of the body with because there's an obstruction in the way. So essentially, I got my Astro 1442 rivet gun, manual rivet gun, not hydraulic. I have to make these holes a little bigger, put these in here, rivet them up, and we gooch. We super gooch. So I'll show you the finished product afterwards. But yeah, it's simple rivets. And just like that, the rivets are in. I needed a 3/8 inch hole for an M6 rivet, but the bit I had was a 7/16, which is only 1/16 above, so it was kind of a loose fit. But the thing with rivets is when you put the rivets in, you squeeze the gun on the other side of the rivet. I'll try and get a picture from in the trunk. It actually expands it so that on the other side it's like pushing against the wall, so it fills that gap kind of that it leaves behind. But it's smooth. It leaves no indentation in the body lines at all. All right, let's see what it looks like from in the trunk. All right, the trunk lining's removed, and you can see one of the rivets is right there. So that rivet right there is the most bottom rivet. The rivet up top you can't really see because it's behind this right here, which is the fender and gas tank kind of metal connection. I don't really know what to call it, but that's what that's back there. I'm pretty sure I can cut it out, but I'm not doing that for all this. The rivets are in. Now we're gonna test fit the bumper bracket, and if it works, we're in business. Right, we got the bracket on secured. You know, this gap is the gap is a little bigger than I anticipated. If I drilled the holes up just maybe 2 millimeters or so higher, this gap wouldn't be here, but it's not that noticeable. But the bumper's on there. It's not coming off. I still have to get the longer screws for it, but it's on there now. This side, the gap is almost just as bad, but it's fine. Now what I gotta do, probably later on this week, take the bumpers back off, trim the bumper so that it fits the arch here. As you can see, the arch keeps going, but the bumper is longer from a later model. So I have to trim that down. And then trim the bumper brackets themselves. And then get some new trim pieces. Actually, I'm gonna reuse the old trim pieces, because this is eventually going to get repainted a different color. The whole car is essentially going to get repainted a different color. But I'll reuse the old trim pieces for now. And with the old trim pieces, I can see where I need to cut those as well. But the bumper is finally on.